Customer states engine will turn over but will not crank. Got a weird little tapping noise as it's cranking. Let's get into it. This is the video that the customer sent me a few days earlier. Alright, there's a couple things that can go wrong here. I'm thinking that an injector is hung open and it's not building fuel pressure enough to crank its common rail system. But first things first, I want to check the EGR cooler to just verify we don't have coolant getting back into the combustion chambers and hurting an injector. So if you guys ever want to check a EGR cooler, one of these 6.6s, you can pull this tube. This is the EGR manifold. This comes from the EGR cooler. Take this bracket off, take the two bolts off, slide it back, and then we'll spin it over, see if we get any moisture out of it, and that'll tell us real quick if, you know, we got an EGR cooler trying to go down on us. All right, we've got our EGR tube pulled back here. We're going to try to crank it, see what happens. All right, so what that kind of tells me is we got a lot of white smoke, and we sound like we got a single cylinder clack, like an injector is just hung wide open and dumping fuel on one cylinder. These common rails have to see a certain amount of PSI of fuel pressure on that rail before the ECM gives the engine the okay to crank. So if you got one injector hung wide open, it's dumping that fuel pressure before it can ever see that pressure. So we're gonna go through and actually cap these injector lines off one at a time and see if we can verify which injector it is. We're probably gonna get a set of injectors anyway, but we just wanna be 100% sure that it is an injector before we put a set of injectors in it and it not be needed. So first, we've gotta get this EGR manifold out of the way. All right, the EGR valve is off of there, out of the way. Had to get it cleaned up a little bit under there. Just a bunch of trash and debris sits in there. There's no really way to clean it out. So there's two ways of doing this. You can either pull injector lines and cap them one at a time until you find the one that find the injector's bleeding off. You cap it at the rail. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to try, since you probably have to go through all six of them. Usually my luck, the last one I check is the one that's bad. Is I found if you'll pull the lines off, and even though we've got a lot of stuff off the engine, go ahead and crank the engine over. The one that's hung open will actually spray combustion back out of the injector hole out here at the rocker box. So it works most of the time. We're gonna give it a shot and see what happens. All right, so I decided to just pull the lines on the rail actually and check it. And watch this. We can see we've got combustion coming through that number 5 fuel line, which tells me that number 5 fuel injector is the one that's hung open. So we're gonna come back, pull that line off number 5 and cap it at the rail and see if we can get it to crank. All right, to cap those lines off the rail, they make these plugs, these caps that go in there. They're that fit in that thread. Well, I don't have any of those today. What I do have is an assortment of old fuel lines. We'll find the one that fits it, and we'll just make us a cap. All right, so we took that old line, we hammered it flat, just make it a cheap cap. But guys, be extremely careful when y'all do this. Essentially, if you didn't get that crimped real well, you just created a 20,000 PSI pressure washer. So do not be anywhere around the end of that. You know, stay in a cab, stay away from it. This is just for testing purposes. It'll get you by, but you know, just please be careful. All right, let's see what happens. All right, so it did run. It was only 5 cylinders because we got one plugged off, but that means it will build pressure with that one injector out of there. And I think all the white smoke is just from the raw fuel that's been dumped in that cylinder. So it's fixing to get a set of injectors. Now you could put one injector in here and get it back to going and it'd run just fine probably. But this machine has got like 11,000 hours on it, and the customer has went ahead and decided to let's put a set in it. It's probably a good call. It looks like this thing is still on the original fuel system, which is pretty good for a 6.6. So let's put a set of injectors in it. We're gonna start by pulling the fuel lines back out of the way. I'm having some issues. The fuel lines are actually getting stuck as you turn the fitting. They're stuck on the lines and trying to break the lines off. So I'm gonna fight with that for a few minutes, see if I can't get these things broke loose. I may end up breaking the lines anyway. I've got a set of lines on the way just in case, but let's see what happens. All right, that guy was stubborn. Ended up just twisting it off because it wouldn't break loose. So I hope the other 5 are a little more forgiving. We'll see. Ended up breaking 2 lines off, getting them out. Actually, the little seal cup come out with that one. That's a first. I've done a lot of these injectors and never seen that happen. It's just corroded up. So this area right here is where that EGR manifold covers up, and it just gets trash in there, and there's no way to clean it out. I mean, you can't get to it, and gets packed in there, and just, you know, hot, cold, mud, moisture gets in there. It's a mess. So everything gets corroded and gets stiff. So that's why we've got the issue we got. But luckily, new lines to solve that. So let's get the valve cover off. We're gonna have to pull the rocker arm assembly and then pop the injectors out of there. All right, valve cover's off. This thing is actually, you can tell that the rocker arms don't have any adjustments. It means this engine has got hydraulic lifters in it. We got to get that rack off there, the overhead rocker arm assembly, whatever you call it, to get these injectors out. They won't quite clear without pulling them, so I'm gonna get that rail out of there. Also, these bolts, if you look real closely, you can see that is an inverted Torx. So if you're gonna do one of these jobs, be sure to have a set of inverted Torx sockets. You won't do it without it. Another quick side note, hydraulic lifters, you can pull the overhead off, put it all back together, and you don't have to set anything. You do have to wait though. If you install this rocker arm assembly, the full rail, you need to wait. I think the book says 45 minutes to an hour. If you put it right back on there and try to crank it, it will not crank because those injectors are all the way extended, and it will quite literally hold the valves open. So essentially, for all you technicians, this means y'all don't have to feel bad about not setting overhead whenever you put the rocker arm assembly back on after sticking a set of injectors in it. That's my theory anyway. Got the overhead assembly off. Got the injector bolts loose. We got to pop these cups off. An easy way to do this, take a screwdriver, put it behind it, pry it right out of there. All right, once you got the cup off, the wires off, and the bolt loose, take your heel bar, stick under there, pop it out of there. Before we stick our new injectors back in, we've got to evac the cylinders, get any fuel out of there. This is just a oil sample kit from Cat. Works real well. Small tube, fits in the injector holes. Side note, be sure to turn the fuel tank supply line off, and in this case you had to plug the return line. It's there's no valve in the tank for the return line. You pull injectors, it'll start just spewing fuel. Y'all may have saw the other video when I popped the injector out. Fuel was coming out of the hole in front of it. Each one of these dang dozers is different. Some of them you don't have to, some of them you do. In this case, we just found the return line down there, stuck a cap in it, and now we're good to go. All right, we got us a torque spec found. 239 inch-pounds is really close. If you convert it over to foot-pounds, it's right at 20 foot-pounds, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, while we're in here, I went ahead and got my rocker arm shaft torque as well, 26 foot-pounds. Also, here's the tidbit I spoke about earlier. Right after you put the rocker arms back into place, and because of the hydraulic lifters, you should not operate it for a period of 30 minutes. I would say at least 30 minutes, 45 to make you feel comfortable. All right, last one to get torqued. There it is. We'll put the rocker arm shaft on next. All right, when you get to this point, got the rocker arm shaft set in there. Nothing's seated down yet, but just a reminder, be patient. This thing is a real pain in the butt. Everything is spring loaded, so you just gotta finesse it. Take your time. Make sure your rocker arms are seated into the push rods. Make sure you haven't knocked any bridges off. It can really, really fight you. Just take your time, make sure you got it right. I'm pretty sure they make some tools to go in here and space these rocker arms out, but we don't have those today, so we're just gonna do it the hard way. Everything is in there and seated. That was not very fun. My advice is to start at one end and then work your way down. So you've got to like pull the rocker arms to the side to actually get them to sit down in there. Anyway, fixing to torque them, 26 foot-pounds. In this case, we're going to start in the center and work our way out. For everyone that says the 6.6 and the 7.1 cat are just a Perkins engine, well, I want to let you guys in on a little secret. Y'all be the judge. Anyway, we're gonna get this valve cover cleaned up, stick that new rubber in there, and torque it back on there. All right, we got it all back together, got it running. It smoked a little bit out of the exhaust. Remember, we got it running from the raw fuel it was dumping, so cleaned up now, but we're gonna run it through just a manual regen, kind of clear it all out, make sure it's good to go. And we're burning off a little bit of the old fuel, part of it. All right, she's purring. All right, we're all done. Customer's gonna change the oil in the morning. Packed up, time to go home. All right, we're a pretty good piece from the house today. I usually don't get out this far, but this particular customer, he's a good customer. He followed me from my last place of employment. Whenever I struck out on my own, he called me pretty early on and, give me some business. So I like dealing with him, so I'm going to keep dealing with him, I don't mind driving a little bit. Overall, today went pretty smooth. I've had similar instances before where you get there to do the same thing and the EGR cooler be cooked and, cylinder's full of coolant. So thankfully that wasn't the case because that's a pretty hefty repair on top of what we just did. Besides breaking a few fuel lines, the customer was actually able to go run to the local cat house and pick some up. They had them in stock, so that saved the day there. I really enjoy getting to ride these back roads and find new job sites. Kind of really gives me time to, think about what I'm going to do during the job, and then at the end of the day, really wind down on the way home. It really beats the alternative of working a 9 to 5 in the same place every day. Driving to work, driving home, seeing the same sites. It's nice to get out and, see something different. I really, really enjoying working for myself, doing this independent field mechanic work. I was kind of worried at first, like, would I be able to handle it? Would I be able to do it? Did I have the knowledge and the skill set to do it? But really, I was thinking about it last week. I really believe, this kind of work is easier than when I was a field service tech at CAT. I still do notes and still do invoicing, but I'm not dealing with warranty. I'm not having to fight with a warranty writer, not trying to write some, silly story to justify warranty. And there's a bunch of other things that go into it, but, it's just usually these kind of repairs are cut and dry. A little bit of troubleshooting involved, but it's a different kind of work. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it, really am. So, all right, guys, that was a rather productive day. As always, thanks for watching. If y'all liked it, be sure to let me know. Have any questions, hit me with them. All right, y'all have a good one.